We're in Dubai, a nice 108-degree weather heat, and we're in the land where everything is big, everything's oversized, everything is grand, which is cool. You know, this is one of my favorite skylines in the world. Think about this. These three little buildings are just some random buildings on the side somewhere. They're not even in the main downtown, in the marina, or the business area. There's three random buildings that are bigger than most of them that you see back home in the States. So that's kind of how Dubai is. It's cool to be back here. I got to take you guys to some of my old spots because I was pretty much living here in 2011, doing work at Procter & Gamble, putting on a big event, and I always felt connected to this city. I love skylines. I love innovation and building and creation, and this city was nothing but desert 50 years ago. Literally just dirt. And in 50 years, became one of the most iconic cities in the world. And the skyline's incredible, and the mindset of the leadership is incredible because they just want to grow and build. So it's cool to be back. I always came back every couple of years to reset mentally, and now to be doing an event here, building a league here, is pretty special. We got Will here, by the way. We're doing a documentary on our whole experience.
How you doing?
You want to grab a seat? Yeah. And you know, Ken's wandering around here somewhere, but he may or may not join. Okay. Do you need a water or a coffee or anything, Deb? Yeah. Do you want to? Can you grab me a water too, Jamie, or whatever you want? Thanks.
So how have you been anyway?
Good. You know, been running around trying to build a baseball league from scratch. So. Debs, I'm not sure how much you know. So basically, obviously, Ken was the vision behind this whole, crazy journey that we're on. And then he got really lucky and blessed because he was able to connect with Jeff, who's done amazing work on the ground here. Yeah. And we've had 7 or 8 other people on the team that have been kind of part of that formative body before I came on.
Right.
I think it's a great story. I think a couple of months ago, I think it was about 4 or 5 months ago when we started with UIBL Vision, one of our first person that came on board was Barry Larkin. He said, hey, listen, Ken, there's a great guy, South Asian, who is someone just like you. You would love to meet him. So I said, great, give me his number. I'll give him a call. And obviously with the UIBL, was traveling back and forth between here, America, India, Dubai. And so I went back and, I reached out to him. I think it was about 2 months ago. Hey, listen, I sent him an email, connected, had a great conversation, the first conversation. Here's what the similarities in us is. Immediately, we spoke, and I said, what are you doing Sunday? He goes, nothing. He jumped on the plane, and he was in New York that Sunday. So we spoke on Thursday. On that weekend, he was in New York.
And then I came on board a few months ago.
Yes.
And the way things evolved is, I've come on board on the ownership group, also bringing in some capital into the company.
Amazing.
So that's enabled us to, think through some of our decisions on what we want to push more into, where do we want to be, as efficient as possible, where do we want to be we always want to be cost effective, and value is important to us, but there's certain things that I know that we want to make sure the experience is what our brand is about. I was talking to JV last night about taking my foot off the gas. He was like, you should take your foot off the gas and just coast for a bit, and I've had my foot glued to the gas pedal for the last 11 years. My first 10 years in the corporate world, I worked really hard, but it's just a different environment. The pace is different. Even when you're moving fast, it's still in a controlled space. Even though we may spend more, like the bucket is the bucket. Yeah. So if we spend it all here, we're not going to be able to spend logistics or stuff. So I'd rather elevate the total experience. Yeah. You know, so I think we still want to be lean, we still want to be smart, but we still got to, but we're not, we want to take a couple steps up from the Radisson that we saw.
Yeah, understood.
You know?
Understood. And you know, that was one of the ideas of having some of the supporters there, actually, because it's so close to the ground.
Right. Well, to me, I mean, you know, I think when Will came in, the first thing he said when he came in Dubai, he's like, how close are we to Burj Khalifa, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we want people to have that type of Dubai experience, like, where you can feel this over here,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
You know, it's like a lion running around a big-ass cage in a zoo. Can still never get to top speed as when you're running in the jungle, you know? And when you break out of that corporate environment, you're out of the zoo, you're out in the wild, and everything is more intense, everything is faster, everything is fight or flight, everything is survival of the fittest, because you got to go eat and hunt on your own. Because I'd love to sit with the decision makers here and be like, here's what we need if we were just paying you, you know, and through the
This is the piece that we want to add to this.
Yeah, we want to build sponsorship, and obviously there's a cost for our sponsorship. You know, our global sponsorship right now is at $1 million, which is a lot less than you know, a lot of bigger sports. Official hotel partner could be only like $100,000, $200,000. So like, how do we credit that back in here, or how do we work shared assets? But we can't probably talk to a junior sales manager. No. We need to talk to a decision maker who can make that call. We've got a couple of baseball federations coming in town from India and Pakistan tonight that we're hosting.
That's the exciting piece. I think that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
See you later in the week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
In bigger companies, the meal is served to you directly, you know, and depending on the company, sometimes you get the nice cutlery and fine china, and sometimes you're eating off the styrofoam plates and the little red cups. But when you're out in the entrepreneurial world, especially as a founder or CEO or someone in leadership position, you are hunting all the time, and you got to go make the kill and drag it back to the cave. And then you got to decide, who do you want to share it with? Actually, I like that. But see, I'd like to learn the model and stuff and let people know, look, I know you're trying to get paid, so like, let's not bullshit about it. What's your model? Here's our model. We'll give you a cut of sponsorships. I want everyone to make money and do something cool, because if we all don't eat, then it's not good. We got Will here. I'm like, Will, you got to do this. You could be doing this for UIBL. You could be, you know how many people? We're about to meet all these cricket players. Like, there's so many things that can happen. So everybody's got to win. You know, that's always been my philosophy. Like, everybody rises with the ship. When you're building, once you figure out in your head, like, all right, this is the optimal amount for me to make the most money possible, then you got to decide, is that your number one driver? If I have 15 people on the team, I can do the most work, most efficiently, get the most revenue, have the highest margins, deliver the best product. That's where I want to be, because I want to make the most money. That's what you got to decide. Or is it, I want to give people more opportunity? Or is it, I take less money to work a little bit less hard, you know? Or is it, I'll sacrifice some dollars for the right people because I believe in team, I believe in culture. We're not on the Yankees or P&G's dime. Like, this is a grind. We already have enough players to play tomorrow. We got 500 players in my inbox right now. But we need to get that money from sponsors. So we have to go hit, and as soon as we get sponsorship dollars, dude, the changes. We're gonna get investor money as well, but the sponsorship stuff we can just activate on right now. And you're not giving away equity. You're giving away assets that you and I can go manage. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be prospecting your list. We put the template today together, and while you're here, we need to be blowing all those people up. Every single part of this is a 10 out of 10 difficulty level, minimum. We need to prospect, pitch, and close sponsors. We need to find broadcasters in every country and or region that we're serving. We got to find continue to bring on more investors, because it's a capital intensive business trying to build a sports league from scratch in the other part of the world. We're coming up with the brand building and marketing strategy, the merchandising, hats, polos, uniforms, official jerseys, all that. So everything. I mean, it's actually the biggest project and challenge of my life. And that's why I was excited to do it. That's why everything changed.
My life has always been as as someone who's actually built companies, someone who's out there, traveling the world, meeting different people. And I'm always attracted to people, similar people like myself. So one of the things that attracted to me, Kash, was I saw myself in him. He's about 15, 18 years younger than me. I saw myself in him when I was 18 years ago. So that's one of the things that, it's like looking yourself in the mirror. So that's what Kash is. Kash is someone driven, passionate, emotional, really humble guy.
Well, we got like 10 minutes. I want to try to figure something out with you. So
Sounds good.
let me try to get the login real quick, because Rick just sent me the MailChimp login, and I want to see who's been hitting us up on the UIBL website, right? Let me share my screen. To be honest, I don't know how Rick has organized it. So let's see. What was my first car? Let's see. Let's try Mazda MX-6. Nope. You must enter the.
The Rick's car?
It might have been. Let's try it. Mazda MX-6, the full one. Hey!
That's right.
That MX-6, and it ain't the cool one that you might think of or go, oh, it's the wrong one. My number one thing has always been make the most positive impact possible, and I've purposely kept it broad because I know that life throws different things at you, gives you different opportunities, that if you just say, I only want to do this, that's the only path you're giving the universe. But if you keep it broad, say, I want to trust you, God, trust you, universe, to give me the opportunities, if I keep working hard, to make a positive impact. That's number one. Number two, it is to do it with people that I respect and that I enjoy and that care about each other. And number three is to be successful doing that, which includes some money. So what I've always been contending with and struggling with more so now than ever is, what's the right amount of people in the cave? How much do I want to keep hunting when I've been out with my spears for 11 years nonstop, in the wild? And what I noticed is that as long as the energy and the vibe and the mindset and the values and the principles are right, and I define right as obviously what we built and created at BSB, team first, selfless, hard work, high bar of quality, self-awareness, sense of urgency. If all that's there, I don't mind hunting every day, all day. We're the first ever professional baseball league created to serve India, Pakistan, Middle East. He's the head of baseball of a f***ing country. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're right. Yeah.
I don't know. So yes, he's important.
I
told JV, are you here? Yeah. Have you met Josh from my team, John?
I haven't.
This is AJ. I promise I don't only hire brown Indian people, but this is Josh. God.
How you doing, John?
How you doing, bro?
Pleasure. This is John Muedrick, President of Baseball Ops, UIBL.
Nice to meet you.
Josh used to work for the Yankees, so you guys, John's a Mets guy. And Josh is one of our directors at BSB Sports. AJ's one of our managers at BSB Sports. They're not on the payroll yet, John, but they're still being transitioned over in terms of workload. And we already sifted through the ones we thought were kind of not at the level that we think would be worth engaging. But
Yeah.
I think these are cool because they're coming to us excited, passionate,
pretty much all of them that we have on this list have played pro ball.
There was a point when one of my mentors was looking at our business model, especially on the marketing and agency side, where our biggest line item was consulting and all the service areas we gave, like 12 different service areas. Consulting, we were getting paid the most, and I was the one doing 90% of our consulting. And he was like, you know what, you could just become a single person consultant and you could actually make more money because you don't have to pay payroll and taxes and benefits and operating costs and overhead and all that, right? And I thought about it because I was like, yeah, I know that, but for me, that's not what makes me truly happy. You know, I realized over the last 5, 6, 7 years that I actually get my fuel from great teams. You know, building great teams, being a part of great teams, helping keep great teams together, trying to motivate and inspire and help people on those teams, and watching people grow. That works for me. I don't give a shit if it works for you. It's got to work for the team. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it has to be. So I want you to be really, really intentional about what's your word choice, being respectful, gratitude, awareness, respect. Because that's the difference, what makes us very different at BSB than anybody else out there. I've never seen it. Why are we like that? Because I got to work at a big company. I got to work at a fast-growing startup. I had to build my company from scratch. We get to build an agency. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen all the levels. I was just telling JV, we park people's cars and we close $1 million deals. That's what we do.
You know, we're passionate about what we're doing. He's passionate about what he's doing. You know, we don't look at the time of the day or the night. We don't look at, you know, how we're going to do it. We know we're just going to do it. The great part about building this team together, because as two leaders in UIBL, I think we're going to bring a lot of people that are going to be similar and different to be able to, as he's used to saying, you know, show them the angel and the marble. Yeah. Okay, so you know what? You can ask the guys at the lobby. They'll escort you up to 37th floor. Yep.
There's a curtain. This is me, who know all about baseball, how the baseball player can get benefit. And this is Pakistan or India, or people who don't know what benefit will be, and they play good baseball. So UIBL is gonna take this curtain out.
Yeah, you know, one of the interesting things that happened, I mean, obviously we've been talking to a lot of people, and so many people that you talk to, you say baseball in this part of the world and they think that it doesn't exist. Yeah. But it does. You've just got to peel the layers of the onion back to be able to see where it exists. Yeah. And because the population base in this part of the world is so significant, and the numbers that play baseball are a small part of that population, doesn't mean that the sport doesn't exist or that it hasn't got a proper base. True. But when you say to someone, you know, Pakistan is number 37 in the world, so really?
31.
31.
It used to be 21 because of COVID, we are 31.
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
31.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, so there's 31 in the world, you're kidding. I mean, so that it really exists there. And then you start to talk about what infrastructure is actually in the country.
My president and chief marketing officer, Kash, as you must have seen a lot of the news that was put out, you know, so he's also down here with me. Love to see when we can connect. If not today, I know you're catching a flight, but we can definitely circle back. We have you on WhatsApp group, so we can actually have a conversation about how we can bring some of the players from Malaysia to be a part of our league.
So good to see everyone. My name's Kash. I'm the president and CMO of UIBL, and was fortunate enough to connect with Jeff and Max and Ken a few months ago to learn about the team's vision, which is a big one. It's a big one, the first ever professional baseball league to serve India, Pakistan, and the Middle East. I worked 10 years at Procter & Gamble, and then I spent the last 10 years building my own agencies, a marketing agency and sports agency, and I've been around Major League Baseball for over 20 years. And loved the game, played it growing up, and always wondered why the heck it isn't out here. And that's the opportunity that we have. As you guys know, and better than anybody, we have almost 1 billion cricket fans in this part of the world, and not many of them know baseball yet. And that was Ken's vision of
trying to help them not only learn the game, but fall in love with the game.
Yes, cricket is the gold standard. Everybody loves it. And as you know, Max's background is cricket. He brought England versus the world first game to America cricket. So he's been a pioneer in that as well. Similarly, we believe the fabrics of cricket and baseball are going to complement each other. So it's not going to compete with them. We're going to complement each other. And that's where you'll see a lot more, and you'll hear a lot more about how we in UIBL, as well as we in UIBL Academy, is going to bring those 10, 20 million kids that want to aspire to be cricket players, teach them, train them, and aspire to be baseball.
Ken, slowly all coming together, right?
Yes, so this is the next phase of our launch of the showcase in Dubai. We just met the federation presidents from WBSC, and they're all online with us, excited about what we're doing, excited about the team, excited about the vision and the mission that we're trying to create. And these are all passionate people. You know, you saw President of Saudi Arabia, President of Federations of India, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. And these are guys that actually been, you know, passionately supporting baseball in the trenches. So we at UIBL hope to partner, bring them together, and take baseball to the level. Historical moment today. You know, never happened in this part of the world. So that's history making that we did today.
Never been to a cricket match, and for me, being Indian, my father, my grandfather, literally like watching it their whole life and bringing it into my life at a young age, going to a game and witnessing it, man, I'm hyped.
It's actually my first cricket game ever in my life. Even though my dad was born in India, my mom was born in Pakistan, never went to a cricket game, and because God's blessed us, my first cricket game is India versus Pakistan. So it's going to be a huge, huge moment to see the sold-out stadium and then visualize how it's going to be when we play our games there, you know, in February, and visualize and manifest a sold-out stadium for UIBL in the future.
Look. They on JV with the camera. We cannot film people in this country, bro.
I don't know what you...
Why are you behind him?
doing my
filming?
job, bro.
No.
They
You're going to jail here. I don't care who you are.
That was crazy.
Asia Cup.
That was crazy because we almost got JV thrown in jail for shooting video out here, but it's cool. We're about to walk into the royal box and watch Pakistan play India, the most intense and anticipated match of the whole Asia Cup. So it's going to be cool.
Smashes it. Has he got all the way? Yes, it does. Finishes in and starts.